And so that's why you see Christian churches popping up. It's like, how do we have the best entertainment? How do we have the best music? How do we get the best activities for youth? Like they're constantly having to worry about this. Why? Because they take out loans like every other organization. They got to pay those loans back. They don't have a tithing requirement. They don't offer the opportunity to do fast offerings the way we do fast offerings in how they're administered. They accept offerings, and they pass around the offering plate, but there's a very different perspective behind what our offerings are used for, right? And so even many, many Christian churches today around us, not that they're bad, but they have had to kind of bend their methods to try and succeed at the game in which Babylon has established, because so many of them don't, and they fail and they close and they get kind of swallowed up and not being able to make it out of that rat race, so to speak. And so it really is amazing that the church has followed this edict. They've followed this pattern that the Lord established, not always perfectly, but by and large, this is the way they operate, and it has more than proven successful, and it is for the benefit of each and every one of us who is a part of it. So we want the church to continue to move away from the ways of Babylon as much as possible and continue to remain independent and autonomous from those secret combinations.
And I don't want to get too political here, but we've seen in our day the secret combinations have been set up. I mean, where you have, the federal government funneling money through grants and nonprofits, which on the surface sounds like an okay thing. Like, that sounds, okay. But then what happens? You have these institutions, and some of them are religious institutions, some of them are universities, some of them are corporations. They start receiving this public money, and then they become dependent on it. And this is the whole "you cannot serve two masters" thing, because then there's a regime change, a party change in the government that has a different idea socially of how things, and this could go either way, have a different idea socially of how things should be. And then there's pressure for, if you want to keep receiving this money, maybe you should do things a little differently. And then what do we see? In the United States, we see this happen regularly, where, the party who's in power changes, and all of a sudden there's a cultural shift among the country and in the media. It's like, well, why does that happen? Well, how does that happen so easily, where there's a regime change, and then there's a wave of culture changes that go down? Well, it's because these tentacles of the government, of all this, like, this financial mess is far reaching throughout the economy. And you get these political pressures that, hey, if you want to continue receiving this money, you need to do things differently. You need to do what I say. That's the exact kind of thing that the church needs to be free from, like 100%. We cannot be in a position to where we're dependent to serving some other master other than Jesus Christ himself.
Well, and it's a good point you bring up. We have to be careful of that in the church as well. It's not as though we're immune from these tentacles that Babylon extends out, and tries to rope other organizations in. Hit that like button, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
They may seem like little things, but liking, commenting, it helps the algorithm push our content out to more people. So it's our small way of sharing the gospel in a social media age.